So my Dalit and Sudra brothers and sisters, so what do I want to do? Well, first of all, what I want to do is move us away from the feeling as though we are at the bottom of the caste hierarchy. First of all, caste is not indigenous or a part of Sanatan Dharma. Okay? What is jati, which is the work you do. Okay? And then varna, which is the qualities you are born with, whether it is to be pursuing knowledge, being business, being a protector, or being a skilled worker. Okay? Um, and to be an outcast, well, to be an outcast, that is up to you, meaning that you become a criminal, you become somebody who does harm to society. So an outcast is a choice. Okay? I'm not saying, I'm not ignoring the fact that we are, some of us, including myself, will be treated as outcasts. Okay? But being an actual outcast and be treated as an outcast are two different things. You have to accept whether you're an outcast or not. And I am not an outcast. As far as I see it, I am more educated than most Brahmin. I have a better, actually way more educated about the Vedas, the Shastras, the Upanishads, and about Sanatan Dharma than most Brahmins. Okay? Way more educated and more intuitive about it, and the ability to actually interpret and see how it applies to modern life. There are very little, almost zero Brahmins that can, and don't ever confuse it with being able to regurgitate what you read. No, it's the application of knowledge that you have to be good at. Okay? Because you can regurgitate anything, but can you apply it? And that's the key concept. Okay? I'm way better about at military affairs than most Kshatriyas would ever be. Okay? Because right now I advocate for India to embrace ICBM that could target anywhere in the world. Okay? Okay? And I don't see anybody right now doing that. You cannot let any potential adversary be able to hit you without you be able to hit them back. I don't want to elaborate on this, but please read more into this detail. We should be able to strike anywhere and everywhere with sufficient, not minimum, with sufficient or overwhelming retaliation. Okay? This nonsense of credible, no, go for overwhelming. Okay? You want overwhelming deterrence, not credible minimum. That's nonsense. And this thing of strategic autonomy. Strategic? What's strategic? You need active. You need to always be working on it, enhancing it, and taking the lead. Okay? And not only taking the lead, but also, use Chanakya. Chanakya was a genius. Use him. Actively undermining the others. You have Bharat been actively undermined by so many. And none of our leaders, none. Okay, none. Whether secret or not secret. Because you know what? If it was secret, it should be out in the open by now, because some of these things should have been tested. It hasn't been tested. And if it's not tested, it's not credible. Okay? If it's not tested, it's not credible. So if you say, oh, we have the ability to strike anywhere in the world, but you didn't test it, well, that's not credible. Okay? That is not credible. So there is also an example of my military supremacy and military skill being better than most Kshatriyas. Okay? Business-wise, India is not showing the world that, wait a minute, quality actually originated in India. Do you know the Jati system was responsible for quality management in Bharat? That's what the Jati served us. The people who belong to this Jati, not caste, the people who belong to this Jati, they worship a certain divinity. And in that divinity, because they intertwine the divine with their work, they ensure that they perform work that was fair, honest, and good quality. Okay? Good quality. Okay? So I've talked to you, and Shudras. What are Shudras? In short, Shudras are the skilled workers, the knowledge workers, the people who apply knowledge to create products. You think it's easier to be a farmer than it is to be an iron worker, okay? It is easier to be a farmer than to be an entertainer. It is easier to be a farmer than it is to be a builder, a mechanic, you know? It is way easier to be a farmer than to be a skilled worker. And Shudras and Dalits as well, okay? Shudras and Dalits. It takes a lot of skills, a lot of knowledge to be a Shudra, okay? And by the way, you know, doctors, dentists, people who work in radiation, people who work with hazardous stuff, you know the very elite jobs, you know, the jobs that has good reputation, those are Shudra and Dalit work, okay? Those are Shudra and Dalit works, you know, being a pilot, being a chemist, being a virus researcher, cancer researcher, AIDS researcher, heart surgeon, dentist. Oh my God, I could go on and on and on. Yes, have you ever heard the Congress workers, Samajwati workers, Bahujan Samaj Party workers, Marxist, Socialist, Communists talk about that? No, because then they realize that then they realize that, wait a minute, we have been stealing the Sudra jobs. What they want to do is keep you oppressed. They want to keep you oppressed while stealing your jobs and telling you are not qualified for that jobs. I'll let you in on a secret. I know a bunch of people who are basically their foreparents are Chamars, okay? They're Chamars. If in case you want to know, I'm actually a lower caste than Chamar, okay? I don't believe in a caste, but full disclosure, lower caste. But all of them, okay, grew up in a society where caste is a non-issue, and all of them got into the most elite schools. They all got into the most elite schools, like a lot of them, okay. And they are more intelligent, those who are from Brahmin family, Kshatriya family, Vaishya family, Ahir family, all of them. Way more intelligent, okay? I, on the other hand, have a way higher IQ than all of them, okay? Because I went to university while working 2 full-time jobs. I want any one of you to find somebody who was able to do that. Go to full-time university, work 2 full-time jobs. If you know what 2 full-time jobs means, minimum 40 hours a week, but that involves traveling between jobs, traveling to school, or traveling to home. So think about it, what I was accomplishing, okay? And I finished my university in 2.5 years. A 4-year degree I finished in 2.5 years. I'm freaking intelligent, okay? And I said to you, I'm lower than the Chamar. I'm a lower caste, I'm the Chamar, okay? What I'm saying is, if given fair treatment, fair opportunity and equal treatment, usually the lower caste performs way better, okay, way better. But you all fight for reservation and hands out and subsidies, okay? This is not what my movement is about. My movement is about to remove that and to ensure that everyone that's a Sudra and a Dalit, okay, you go to school from your primary education, secondary education, and then skills training, which is either college, apprenticeship, or university. And while going there, so this is what the movement's about, is that you will be paid while you're going to primary and secondary education. You'll be paid 120,000 rupees a year. You'll be fed at school, so you don't have to worry about buying food, okay? You'll be going to school for 7 days a week, except on Hindu holidays. Okay? Then when you move up to high school, you will be paid 180,000 rupees a year. And then when you move into an apprenticeship, for apprenticeship, you will get full paid. Or college or university, you will get 240,000 rupees a year. Every one of you who takes this, you will get that. Okay? And guess what? By getting rid of all the subsidies, you will be able to pay for this. Not only this, Bharat will be able to balance its budget. Okay? And you will have money that you can save for later on for buying houses and stuff. You know? So basically, I'm going to move all the Shudras and all the Dalits and untouchables and secluded castes and tribes and all of them, basically all at the bottom. I'm going to move you up to the upper 50%, not the bottom 50%. I'm going to also make sure that the vast majority of businesses is dominated by people from within this community, at least 60%. And I will create a situation where at least 2,000 of the community member will be billionaires, meaning that over half of all the billionaires in the world. Okay, well, so let's say let's put it this way. I will create a situation where more than half of all the billionaires in this world are from the community, because the community has members capable of that. They just need the opportunity. And that's what I'm going to do, provide the opportunity. This is why I need support. Okay? And most importantly, when we have children in the future, we're not going to have children randomly. We're going to do selective breeding so that we create a community that is stronger, better looking, have high IQ, which means that learning becomes very intelligent, very smart, and good muscular build, less prone to genetic disease, and basically create a superior being. Okay? So, we will emerge as basically the superior people. With each passing generation, we will become more and more and more superior, because we will do selective breeding, not random breeding. Okay? And every man and every woman will be entitled to one genetic offspring. Okay? So I hope you understand why I've started this channel. It is so that we, each subsequent generation, okay? And believe me, within 10 generations, by the time your great-grandchild comes around, okay? By the time your great-grandchild comes around, they will not only see themselves as superior, they will know themselves as superior, okay? Because they will know that they were chosen, okay? They will know that they were chosen, they were selected, and they were chosen to be created because of superior genetics, superior abilities, and to be healthier, to be stronger, to be faster, to be smarter, to be more good looking, to be more handsome, to be more beautiful. Okay? We will select the traits that we want to pass on to our offspring. Now tell me, is this not superior to any caste or any jati? Well, jati is just an occupation. But to basically any caste, is it not superior? Where we become the foundation on which the superior being, the superior person, the superior individual is built. Okay? But we have to start now. Time's running out. Take this step with me. We will work towards this. Okay? We will rule Bharat. We will make... Bharat fell because of us. We fell. When the British Empire oppressed us, look at the photos of whose limbs were chopped off. It was the Shudras and the Dalits, not the upper caste. No. To transfer the industrial capacity and might of Bharat to Britain, they had to oppress the Dalits and the Shudras. Okay? And unless we rise up again, Bharat and Sanatan Dharma and Sanskrit will not rise up. In one of my videos, I told you, Sanatan Dharma was at the brink, and it was a unity between the Brahmins and the untouchables that allowed Sanatan Dharma to rise again and to displace Buddhism from Bharat. And it will be us and us alone that will take Bharat to its greatest height and make Bharat again the center of the global economy. Okay? And we will be at its heart. We will be the heartbeat of that. We will be the heart and the heartbeat of that. No one else. And we are going to dominate Bharat. And not just Bharat, but the globe. Okay? And the thing is, the Brahmins, the Vaishyas, and any Indian nationalists will have to support us for this. So I want you to think about this, okay? This is what we're going to do. Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.